would request Caralyn ji to please address the audience and the gathering with her initial remarks.
Thank you, Sudhir Gautamji, and very good morning to all of you, and a very good morning to my batchmate and friend Naveen Mittal, who's also the Principal Secretary of Higher and Technical Education in Government of Telangana. Thank you for inviting me and giving me the opportunity. Today's and this session's subject of excellence, expansion, equal access, employability in the higher education sector, the challenges and the way ahead. I'd just like to share very briefly what we are doing in Madhya Pradesh. In Madhya Pradesh, we are much behind the South Indian states and also the states of Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Delhi. But I'm speaking from the point of view of technical education, since I'm Principal Secretary Technical Education and Skills. So I will not touch much on the higher education in general, but in technical education. In MP, we have almost around 2,000 technical institutes, technical education institutes, which includes around 1,100 in the skill sector, skill education sector. We have actually been having very bad admission rates in the technical education sector, which averages only around 56% of seat capacity utilization last year. And last year in the skill sector, only 64% of the seats were filled. Our Honorable CM, after the Honorable Prime Minister launched the Atmanirbhar Bharat, in the same track, we had carried out an exhaustive exercise under the direction of the Honorable CM, Atmanirbhar MP, during the month of August, in which we had, apart from introspecting, looking at the data, analyzing the data, and identifying the gaps, we invited experts in this sector, in which we consulted the experts, we took their inputs, and a very exhaustive exercise over the period of 4 days in which we got their inputs how to address the challenges that we have identified in this sector, the technical education and the skill education sector. So some of the challenges we identified during the Atmanirbhar Madhya Pradesh exercise was, of course, the low capacity utilization in engineering and polytechnic colleges, as well as in the ITIs and the skill sector technical institutions. We have a very low GER. I think India figure in the technical education, the GER is around 3.6, 3.5, vis-a-vis the 26 GER in the higher education, and which is already very low. In MP, we're only 3. We're not even 3.5. With regard to the GR, at the national level, we are standing at 0.5 GR for girls. In MP, we're only 0.25. So we still have a long way to go. And yes, we are looking at the steps that we will be taking to address this problem. We have a high number of faculty vacancies, which is a result of course, of policies as well as management issues. There was a clear policy for professional development of teachers. There's a lack of research, identification that there is a lack of research, innovation on and entrepreneurship related activities. Inadequate linkages with industry, which results in the gap between what the students learn at the colleges and the employability factor, what the industries need in their factories and in their companies. There's a lack of a clear policy for professional development of teachers, though there are, of course, AICTE regulations and guidelines, but implementing at the ground level, there was a certain gap. There's also a lack of research. In fact, though we have incentives for inviting scholars to register for PhDs, However, there's a clear gap between the capacity and the intake. We don't have enough students who make the mark. So there is a realization that yes, there's a need to improve the level of teaching, the level of coaching, the level of guiding, in order that these students get access to the PhDs, to the PhDs admission. There's also a lack of infrastructure and faculty in the emerging areas. Honorable Minister of Uttarakhand had just addressed that there is, in Uttarakhand also they face a lack of infrastructure. In MP, though we have a wide area, SWAN, statewide area network, however, especially during the COVID time, we realized that there is a huge gap, because if all the classes are online, if all the activities are online, then there is a need to augment the IT infrastructure, and also a need to enable our teachers to be able to handle the IT platforms and to be able to use those tools properly in order to optimize this platform. There's a problem with campus placements. Campus placements, though we do have exceptions and we have students who have been getting good packages. However, when we look at the average number, of the total number of students who pass out from the colleges, there's a huge gap. Some of the students are getting placements in Google and all these multinationals. However, some of the students, especially from the polytechnics of the rural areas, they have not been able to get that kind of placements. There is a lack of, there is a low utilization of digital resources. Government of India has done a lot. The NPETL, the SWIME platform, there's a huge number of e-content out there. However, utilizing those digital resources to fit into the requirements of the local students, that is where we need to bridge the gap. So we need to increase the capacity utilization in the technical colleges. We need to actually take steps. How do we increase and encourage girls to take up STEM education? We realize that for students to get into engineering, to get into technical education, it's not just, you know, the class 12, the class 11, class 12, which is important. However, encouraging students and enabling them and enhancing their skills in science, technology, engineering, maths skills at the school level itself, so that we get the intake into the engineering colleges, into the technical colleges. We realize that we have to work with the school education department, and we are taking steps toward that. There is a need for regular teacher recruitment and a proper cadre management, and we are working towards that also. And there is a need for enhancing research and innovation. So we're looking at policies, we're looking at intervention, not just at the college level, but also at the policy level, where we can encourage faculty to reach out to other universities, national and international, so that the research, the innovation activities will be enhanced. We're looking at fostering industry partnerships. We have already had 2 rounds of industry academia conclave, in which we are looking at MOUs with the industries, where we can take steps to ensure that our students are learning those skills that the industry need. Our colleges are teaching that curriculum which the industry needs, aligning the curriculum with the industry current needs, and also thinking about the future needs. This is really, really important, and I think a very, very synchronized and a very synergistic relationship with the industry is necessary. So a mechanism for industry collaboration with the higher education colleges, that is extremely, extremely important. Encouraging entrepreneurship and promoting startups. We're looking at ways how to encourage our students to be entrepreneurs, not only to look for jobs, but also look at starting something on their own. We realize that with regard to the skill development and the skill sector education, that we don't really know what the industry needs. So the most important thing is launching a skill gap study, which, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Yeah. So the most important thing that we did, I think, right after this Atmanirbhar exercise was that we took a decision that we need to actually know what our industry needs, what our industry in the state needs. So we have launched a skill gap study, which we will go and survey in right from the ground level at the district level, what our industry are doing, what are the activities, what are the job roles that they need, and what is the gap. So after which we will be able to actually plan and reorient and recalibrate our policy as well as our courses and curriculum towards the need. Importance of data, because we have been talking a number of years now that we should actually take action based on evidence, based on data. So we find that there's a lot of gap with regard to the current data in MP. So we're looking at strengthening our data collection through using through transacting through portals. We are taking almost all our activities online. And yes, in the skill sector, there is another huge problem is the low aspirational value of vocational training among the youth. We don't really know what is the reason for that. Maybe there's also, you know, the attitude, like the perception among Indian parents that you should actually go for higher education rather than, you know, drop out at class 10 and go to vocational. That is really, in fact, not really considered very upmarket. However, we're looking at enhancing the aspirational value of vocational training. And one of the steps that we've taken, the government of MP has taken, is launching the Global Skills Park, which is a global level of skill training institute in which we are we are carrying out training of courses like precision engineering and mechatronics and the other emerging skills that are needed in the industry. So with these few words, again, I would like to congratulate the state of Telangana and wish all the best. And I'm looking to hear from all of you also as to what are the steps that are being taken in Telangana, and looking to learn from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. It was amazing to hear all the initiatives being taken up in the state of Madhya Pradesh.